Today on our program, we are reviewing Weezing, Pokemon number 110, a classic, if you will.
It's a real classic.
Florian, what can you tell me about Weezing?
Weezing is two big heads joined together, and it's poisonous, and it uses poison to attack other Pokemon.
You're
and
right.
I think James had a Weezing.
Let's not get into that mess.
Why?
'Cause, you know, I mean, you want to talk about anime? You want to be an anime podcast? We talk about the sweet science of Pokemon here.
That's true. On the Bulbapedia, it says that a Weezing can be made out of two coughings fusing together.
One of the Pokédex entries says, where two kinds of poison gases meet, two coughings can fuse into a Weezing over many years.
So every coughing has a different kind of poison, is what they're saying.
I guess so. But also, in order to make a Weezing, two coughings have to stay together
Yes.
for many years.
Yeah,
How are there any
it's-
Weezings?
It's love.
So a Weezing is like a coughing marriage, actually.
Yes. And can they get a divorce? Back to two coughs?
Back to two coughings. Two
Yeah.
coffees. I don't know, man. I don't think so. They look like pretty much fused together. Like,
But there's also like this
Siamese twins.
third kid growing in the back of the picture.
I think it's two coughings, and that's just a little
Lump.
growth, a little
Yeah.
tumor.
But it could be a kid.
Could be the tiny coughing. Maybe that
Yeah.
one day that separates, and that's how coughings are made.
And in Ruby, it says Weezing loves the gases given off by rotted kitchen garbage. This Pokemon will find dirty, unkept houses and make its home. At night, when the people in the house are asleep, it will go through the trash.
That sounds like a raccoon.
Yeah.
I always thought Weezings would be like at industrial places, or maybe in sewers or something like that. But it's more like a freaking raccoon, just staying under the floorboards.
There's nothing about floorboards here, but okay.
Where are they staying then? It makes the house their home, and when the people are asleep, they come out. Where
Yeah.
are they staying?
Maybe in an old tire.
In an old tire?
Yeah.
Because everyone keeps an old tire in their homes
Yeah.
for a Weezing to sit in.
Yeah.
You know, in case a Weezing comes along.
But so if you're a kid, you don't even have to go on an adventure to get a Pokemon.
What?
You could just stay at home and grab a Weez thing.
Pokemons are pretty much everywhere, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they find Rattatas running around in the backyard.
So if you want to catch a Pokemon and you don't have a Pokemon yourself, do you have to beat up a Pokemon first before you can catch
you
it?
use your bare hands to beat it to a
Yeah.
pulp. If you don't have Pokeballs,
Yes,
can you just use a net and just
I suppose so.
will it into submission?
Yeah.
What happens when you throw a Pokeball at a Pokemon, right? And it gets sucked into there.
Does something psychological happen to their brain where it's
It
now
does, because they stop being
free?
They stop being free.
Yeah.
They stop being hostile towards the guy who caught them, or gal. Not
Yeah.
discriminating here. Gals can be Pokemon trainers too. Just look at Misty.
Yeah,
She was a Pokemon trainer.
I think so.
That's one of many examples.
One of many.
One of the many gals.
Yeah. But let's say you've got this gas on your body. Let's say you, Robin.
Yeah.
You've got this gas. You gotta find yourself a stinky gal or boy, and you gotta get with them for a while, and then you start to fuse.
I feel like I have to find a stinky me.
That's true.
Like another stinky Robin.
That's true.
So we can spend many years together.
Yeah.
So our heads can melt together
And then an extra growth comes.
out of our backs.
Yes. And when you get divorced, you gotta pay alimony to that growth.
Not to that growth, to the stinky Robin.
Oh, that's true. But it would be so much like Robin to be attracted to a Robin.
Oh, I wouldn't put myself above that. If I ever met me, I think I might want to fuse together.
That's true. That's like double the power.
Double the power.
But some things would be way harder, like putting on a helmet. If you only got one, now you gotta buy two. If you want to go on the scooter or on the motorcycle.
I was imagining a medieval helmet, and I was like, why would I want to buy a helmet? But I'm even less likely to buy like a scooter helmet.
So
Hey,
there's
if
no problems.
If you had the option
Yes.
of getting a second head growing outside of your regular head,
Yeah.
would that be something you'd consider?
Do I become twice as intellectual?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just two guys.
It's just two guys.
Just two guys. I mean, in the sense that when you collaborate with someone, you have twice the brain power.
Yeah.
That could make you
Yeah. But what
smarter.
if it doesn't want to do the stuff I want to do?
Then you have a problem. Yeah,
But it's my body, so we're going to do my stuff anyway.
Well, who's to argue that it's not also his body?
Because my neck's attached to it. I'm carrying all that body
It's
around.
also his neck. I mean, just because there's a face between his face and the neck doesn't mean that it's not his neck.
I came first. I don't know.
If right now
Yes.
there would be a crazy mutation that a little face grows under your chin,
Yes.
does that mean that face owns your entire body because the neck is attached to that face and not your face?
I guess you're right. But I would still have seniority over the body. Listen, I was here first. It's my body.
Listen here, sonny boy.
I've been around a lot longer than you have.
I've been driving them legs along a lot longer than you have.
But what if it starts to grow a body as well?
So there's the wait,
And then you're like, oh shit, should I cut off this body and this head, or should I just keep it going, just to see what's gonna happen?
what if it? All right, so there's this little head
Yeah.
growing underneath your chin.
Okay, so now it's this
It's a
dimension.
full-on head, not just a face,
Yeah.
and it's sticking out of your Adam's apple. And at first you're like, oh, this is kind of fun. It's like my little body.
Why would my first thing would be this is kind of fun? I would
Because you
wear
have a
scarves all the time.
Because, no, you don't have to hide it. It's your little friend. It's your buddy. You can go on wacky adventures together.
What's the wacky adventure?
Weezing doesn't hide his other head.
Let's eat ice cream and smaller ice cream.
Yeah, that sounds amazing to me. Like you have a big ice cream cone and a tiny ice cream cone. Are you kidding me? That seems awesome to me.
Okay, so what's the next part that's gonna happen?
All right, so next, so this head on your Adam's apple is a little bit dim-witted.
Yeah.
Right. It's a little goofball.
Little goofball. I call him little goofball.
It's your little goofball.
Yeah.
Simple-minded, kid-like friend.
Yeah.
And you just have awesome adventures with. Big and small ice creams.
Yes.
Big and tiny burritos. Can you imagine a tiny burrito and feeding it to this little...
That would be pretty cool. A tiny bean?
Tiny beans?
Tiny beans, man.
Like a big bean and a small bean.
Yeah.
Regulars.
He could enlist and become a seaman. We could become small and big seaman.
I was wondering how we're going to get semen in this episode. But you did it.
Yeah.
It's not subtle, but you just did it.
Yeah.
You just came out and did it.
But okay, and then it starts to grow a body
Then
as well.
it starts to grow legs.
Yeah. Just first legs or first a body and a neck?
I think legs first.
Okay, so it's sort of pooping out a body.
Yeah. No, not pooping. It's over time.
Yes.
Like first you see you think you have some pimples growing around, but then a few weeks later, you see their toes and little feet come out.
Okay,
and
now
legs start to stretch.
Now I start to worry.
Yeah.
I mean, the head was okay, but the feet.
Would you cut off those feet? Would you cut off those legs?
I think if you have a head under your head, people would still think it's okay. But if you get feet, that's disgusting.
Oh man, why is it all about what other people think?
I don't know. I gotta live my life.
I'm wondering what you think.
I think.
You gotta stop caring about what other people think about your little goofball.
So I got the goofball.
Be proud of the goofball.
I would ask him, what do you want? Can you move him?
What do you want? What do you want, goofball? What do you want?
We can't even look each other in the eye.
No,
just with a mirror.
Only in mirrors, yeah.
I guess I'd let it stay. But what if it grows into a full tiny man and then it pops off and it runs away?
Why would it?
It would be so sad.
Yeah, it would be sad to lose something, but it means that you've had a great thing that you hate losing, and isn't that worth something? And why would you imagine that it runs away?
Because it wants to be free.
Yeah, but you've been friends for so long.
It's kind of like being a mom, which I know all about.
Are we describing parenthood by this little Adam's apple goofball growth?
Yeah, because at some point it's gonna go away.
And you just gotta trust and hope that it comes back to you.
Also, question: am I still stinky?
Well, I thought we were past the stinky thing. It's not like you're fusing with a stinky version of yourself.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's just
growing out of you.
It's just a goofball, just a little friend growing out of your neck.
Yeah. A typical 80s premise for a film.
I got a little friend growing out of my neck. So it pops off.
Yes.
It's a fully grown tiny man.
Yes.
Tiny goofball. It's also mentally grown.
Maybe it's even smarter than me.
Perhaps. That could be damaging for your self-esteem.
Yeah, but that's the same as parenting, man.
Yeah.
Maybe your kids become smarter than you. You just gotta let it go. What if he says, I want to become a crab fisher?
I'd respect that. I mean,
but he's so small.
It's your goofball.
But he's so small. And you think like, that's never gonna work. Can you even lift one crab?
Well, at one point, once the goofball pops off your neck, you gotta trust it to make its own decisions.
No, because you gotta say, okay, Goofy.
Wait, there's Goofy now.
Yeah, there's some things I don't want to tell people they can't do something because of their body, but you're too small, Goof.
You gotta listen to me. Goof.
Either you gotta get a whole bunch of semen to help you, or I don't know.
Gosh, but Florian, I want to be a crab fisher.
Maybe he can steer the ship.
But he's such a tiny man.
He can put some pulleys and some ropes and some.
On that big old steering wheel.
He's really good at mechanics, and he becomes sort of this Dexter from Dexter's Lab type character.
Man, you know, the point is he can become anything. He can become anything he sets his mind to.
He can't become a crab.
Who's to know? I mean, he grew out of your fucking neck, man.
That's true.
Stranger things have happened. Maybe he does become a crab. Maybe 2 more arms and legs grow out of him and he starts walking sideways. You don't know.
And then he still wants to be a crab fisher?
He wants to fish crab?
Yeah. To build a shell.
Or maybe he's a crab fisher. He just fishes regular fish, but he is a crab fisher.
That's interesting.
It is.
What if he just grabs some scissors, and that's his like scissor hand?
Yeah.
And then he also has to have his grabby hand, because,
Wait,
you know,
what are you talking about?
Crabs. They have this one big, not all crabs, but they've got one scissor hand and one grabby hand.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they had just the same hands.
No, not all.
Why are we calling it hands? The same claws. Just both
snippies.
Both clippers.
Clippers.
All right, new hypothetical.
Yes.
So your little goofball has a big head and legs.
A big head.
But then all of a sudden, when it's time for the hands to start coming out, big old crab claws.
Crab claws come out.
Now what do you do?
Okay, now I'm worried.
This is the point you get worried. Up until now, it's been all rainbow and sunshine.
I'm thinking about his life as an animator. You can't do with crab hands.
Man, you can't expect your little goofball to follow in your footsteps.
That's true.
Maybe he doesn't want to be an animator.
What about you? What if you had a goofball? What if instead of a...
It'd be great to have a little goofball hanging out on my neck.
What if at the end he pops out and he says, I want to be a serial killer?
But that'd be disturbing even if it wasn't a goofball on my neck. But it'd be pretty cute though. Like this tiny guy running around trying to kill people.
Yeah.
Like he has this tiny knife and he wants to stab someone and he gets up to it, up to their ankles.
Yeah.
So it's like a little mosquito. So,
okay, new hypothetical. You're yourself.
Yeah.
And then this head starts growing out of your neck.
All right, yeah. So far, so good.
But it's really annoying and shitty.
Yeah.
But if you try to remove it, you die because it's connected to your neck.
This is a Family Guy episode.
It is.
All of this, what we've just talked about,
is
a Family Guy episode.
What? No.
I just realized.
Peter gets it.
Peter gets a little guy on his neck.
On his neck, even.
On his neck, yeah. And then it comes out. It gets surgically removed, and it's a tiny Peter.
Oh.
So
they probably looked at wheezing as well.
I guess so. Man, I remember the Simpsons did it meme.
Yeah.
But Family Guy did it. That's pretty low, man.
That's low.
I feel real bad.
Me too.
Wheezing.
But the thing about wheezing is there's this one scary face and one face that's not too sure about himself.
I don't think the other one is scary. He's more like in pain.
Yeah.
Like
are they in pain?
The left one looks like he had a real bad bean burrito and it's just
farting around,
causing trouble inside.
But somewhere in the Pokédex, it also says that both the heads, they alternate between size.
Oh, yeah. So
Weezing alternately shrinks and inflates its twin bodies to mix together toxic gases inside.
All right. So the left and right one time the right one is the big one. The other time the left one is the big one.
I've never seen this in the anime.
This sounds to me like lazy animators covering the tracks when the wrong Weezing head is the big head. It's not a continuity error.
And then because one time they just flipped it.
Yeah.
Because they needed to look at the other way.
It's just...
And they got all kinds of emails about it. And then they said in a new Pokemon, they put it in Pokédex. It's canon now. What do you think where that comes from? When you say, yeah, the word.
The word canon.
Yeah, when you just say it's canon.
Maybe the first time was when there was this high fantasy story with elves and swords and lords and kings.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, some new writer had the elves use a cannon.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, that doesn't work in this story. They never had cannons. He's like, they do now.
It's canon.
It's canon. Maybe there's this real shitty writer who always changes up the backstory of everything.
Yeah.
And he's just called canon. So, oh man, what the hell happened to this story? It's canon.
Yeah. And
it's canon again.
And he even writes it down. And that's what it was because it's canon now. And he's wildly popular. That's why they're so mad about it. Who wrote this shit? Like all the really good writers couldn't get any books out.
Yeah.
But Canon could get all the books out because people...
Because Canon can.
Yeah.
That's what he says in the mirror every day when he wakes up. You think you can write shitty stories? You think you can change the backstories to well-established IPs? Yes, you can. Because Canon can.
Yeah. And people love it.
People love it. People eat it up. They gobble it up like hotcakes.
They think like, what a twist. First it was a guy, now it's a girl. That's a twist. People think it's a twist.
That's not a twist. That's gender equality. That's open-mindedness. That's being woke.
Exactly. And that's why he got all them sales.
all them sweet cash.
And all the other people are like, I keep my characters consistent. I keep the firearms where they're supposed to be. Not in the story, in my high medieval story.
I keep my artillery in Civil War stories.
I keep my gun in the trunk and my bullets in the glove compartment.
Don't let the elves near the artillery cabinet. They don't know how to use them. Gee, Florian, it was good. It was a good story.
Back to the Pokemon. You know, he's a real grumpy boy, but sometimes you just gotta show in your face what you feel. I can feel that. We should all be a bit like Weezing. I give it a 9 out of 10. It's my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, I throw a ball at it.